from Comnet Technology, and today I will give you an overall introduction about our new N3 GNSS receiver. And I believe this brand new receiver will bring you unaccepted surprise. Okay, let us watch a video first. Okay, after watching the video, I believe now you are all have a general knowledge about the N3 receiver. And in today's live show, I will introduce you the N3 receiver in three sections. And first is about its main advantages. What can you benefit from our new N3 receiver? And then is some related service and products we provide. At last, I will show you a comparison of our RTK receivers to help you to choose the most suitable receiver for you. And okay, let's start with the first part. And here I list the main features of N3 for an overview. And last year we launched our third generation SoC chip and K8 series GNSS products. And N3 is our first GNSS receiver that integrated with our K8 platform, which has made great improvements in GNSS performance. And besides the GNSS performance, N3 as a comprehensively upgraded receiver, we also improved its UHF performance, largely extends its working range. And for the IMU tilt function, we have adopted the second generation of INS algorithm to improve its efficiency and accuracy. And what's more, we also prolonged the working time of N3 receiver to over 24 hours, which can provide you with a fluent working experience. And all the details about this feature will be introduced later on. Okay, it's time for the first round. Okay, let's see what improvements does the K8 platform bring to our N3 GNSS receiver. And the K8 platform has adopted with our Quantum 3 algorithm, and compared with the old platform, it has more powerful satellite tracking and computing capability that largely improves the positioning reliability of the N3 receiver. And meanwhile, benefit from the SoC chip, the power consumption of N3 has also been reduced. Okay, firstly, let's talk about the satellite tracking capability. And our N3 supports 1,198 channels for signal tracking, in addition to supporting the GPS, GLONASS, BDS2, Galileo, and sparse tracking. N3 also supports the newly launched Beta Global system and the QZSS So with this strong signal tracking capability, the N3 can track for 10 more satellites than the old K7 platform. And what can we benefit from this improvement? So when we conduct the survey task, there will always be some signal limited environments, like close to the building and under the trees. The satellite signals will be obstructed, so will result in RTK float solution and poor positioning accuracy. And now, N3 can track more satellites, which means in the same environment, the RTK fixed rate and the positioning reliability will be improved, so your survey task will also be more fluent. Then about the improvement of computing capability, benefit from the optimized algorithm, the N3 receiver has higher tracking sensitivity and faster RTK data update rate and faster RTK initialization time. And the advantage of the higher sensitivity is reflected in some signal-limited environments. It will amplify weak GNSS signals to get a more reliable RTK solution. The effect is kind of like the more tracking satellites. It will improve RTK solution stability, and the fixed rate in the obstructed environments will also be improved. And then for the faster data RTK update rate, the N3 has improved the rate to 5 Hz, which will make your survey results more reliable. And the last, about the RTK initialization time, it means the time from searching satellites to obtaining the fixed RTK solution. This improvement will save your time when starting the survey task or changing your survey environments. And here we made a RTK initialization test of 100 times in different environments, including close to the building, under the trees, and in the open sky. And we can tell from these figures the RTK initialization time of K8 platform is 4 seconds faster than K7 platform on average. Okay, and another big advantage of K8 platform is the low power consumption. Our K8 platform is embedded with our Quantum 3 SoC chip and integrated all the system functions on one single chip, thereby reducing the power consumption. The 1.7 watts power consumption is definitely industry-leading level. And with the same battery capacity, lower power consumption means longer working time. Also, the lower power consumption will have less heat generation, which can protect the electronic components of N3, so it will extend the service life of N3. As for users, it will delay your replacement of a new receiver, thus saving a lot of money. And besides the advantages of our new K8 platform, N3 also integrated with the enhanced UHF modem. The UHF working range of N3 is up to 15 kilometers under ideal environments. And meanwhile, the power consumption of N3 still keeps at 2 watts. So comparing with the external radio, you don't have to bring the external data link and power supply while serving, which saves your energy. And comparing with the internal radio, the working range of N3 is much longer. It can up to 15 kilometers. And we can see that the N3 has equipped with the advantages of both internal radio and external radio. And however, one thing I want to mention is that due to the enhanced performance of the UHF modem, the enhanced UHF of N3 is not compatible with other normal UHF. So when you are using the enhanced UHF of N3, please make sure the base station and the rover are both our enhanced UHF. Okay, here let me show you some test results of our UHF working range. We just made the test last week. And here the base station was set up in our company, and we drove to Shanghai Urban to test the working range. We can see from this screenshot. Here, the distance from rover to base station is 11.843 kilometers, and here the differential delay is 1 second. And the next test, the distance is 13.482 kilometers, and here the differential delay is also 1 second. It means the rover received the correction data from base station every 1 second, which means the UHF correction data stream is very stable. Okay, move to the next feature, the IMU performance. The second generation of IMU still supports up to 60 degrees tilt compensation, and we also made improvements in two aspects. First, it simplified the IMU initialization process, and then it improved the accuracy of the tilt survey. Except the GNSS performance, the IMU tilt survey also plays an important role of RTK receivers. It can facilitate your survey task in some inconvenient situation, like the dangerous points with cars and trunks, or close to the cliff or roof. Also, for the obstructed points that with weak signals, you can tilt the pole for better satellite strengthening signals. And for the hidden points, like the under the obstacles and underground that cannot be directly measured. So the IMU function will guarantee your safety and makes the survey work more easier. And let's talk about our improvement. First is we simplified the IMU initialization process. Let's watch a tutorial video of the IMU initialization. Here, and when you are doing the initialization, please make sure the receiver is under the open sky and get a fixed RTK solution. And then please enter the correct antenna height. So comparing with the first generation IMU, you don't need to walk 10 meters for initialization, only need to shake the poles for several times. And we tested the initialization time of the second generation IMU is 30 seconds faster than the first generation. And another highlight is that you only have to do once initialization during the whole workflow. As you can see, the initialization in the video is finished. Okay. As for the IMU accuracy, we also made a test of 100 times measurement. We can see from this figure, the tilt survey accuracy has been stably maintained within 2 cm, and the average accuracy is 1.56 cm. So you can definitely rely on the stable accuracy of the tilt measurement. Okay, as I just mentioned, the N3 has reduced the power consumption, so extended the battery working time. We have also conducted tests to measure the specific working time and charging time of N3. So you can see it took only 2.5 hours to charge the batteries, and it can work for 25 hours in rover mode and 18 hours in base mode, which means you don't need to bring standby batteries or any external power supply in your survey work. Okay, besides the 4 main features, the N3 also have some other highlights. For the shell design, the N3 can survive from a 2-meter drop and has IPX7 waterproof and dustproof level. You can use it in any harsh environment freely. And we also enhanced the Swipe UI function. You can connect the receiver to your PC or your cell phone via Wi-Fi, then check the device status, download the static data, and upgrade the firmware or configure the work modes through the web interface. As for the communication with N3 is also very flexible. It supports Wi-Fi, UHF, 4G, Bluetooth, and USB connection for the data transmission. You can choose the communication method according to your requirements. And let's continue with the second part of our N3 introduction, the related product and the service. And for N3 receiver, we have some recommended partnered products, including the R550 data controller and the P8 tablet for serving data collecting, and also the field service software ServiceMaster. And I believe most of our users are quite familiar with our R550 data controller and our ServiceMaster software. So today I will mainly introduce the P8 tablet and the new functions of our ServiceMaster. Okay, the function realized by P8 tablets are roughly the same as R550 data controller. It also supports the Android 10 operating system, the Wi-Fi, 4G, and Bluetooth transmission. So the biggest difference is that the P8 has an 8 inches large LCD display. The graphic user interface is much better than the data controller. So when you are doing some CAD stakeout task, the better graphic user interface will improve your working efficiency. And what's more, the P8 Gen SS tablet also supports the GPS, Beidou, Galileo, and GLONASS tracking, and is also available for high precision positioning options. As for the ServiceMaster software, we will release the new version 2.7.9 recently, which has added many very useful new functions. Here I will show you some functions in detail. And firstly, the new version supports QZSS tracking and calculation. We can see the QZSS satellites in the sky view and check the signal quality of the QZSS satellites here. And in the satellite tracking list, here we can see the N3 has tracked many satellites. And here, these 4 are QZSS satellites. Then, the new version also adds the mapping control survey function. To measure a control point, there will be 3 rounds of measurement and 10 times survey in each round, and the RTK calculation between each rounds will be reset. And you can check the real-time survey status in this interface. And we can see now the first round is finished and the RTK calculation has been reset. And then you can check the each survey results in this interface. And after 3 rounds of surveying, it will calculate the average coordinates and the control point coordinates. And here is the mapping control point. Okay, next is the surface stake function. You can import a surface here, or you can directly create a surface like this. It will create a surface based on the points you select. Okay, so as create a surface and then choose the surface you need to stake out. Okay, when you are out of the surface, the software will remind you to move into the surface. Here, out of the surface. And after you move into the surface, This will show the distance from your current elevation to the surface elevation so that you can easily choose to fill or to dig. And except for the designed surface, you can also directly set an elevation to stake out. Click here and set an elevation. Then the software will show the distance from your current elevation to the setting elevation. Okay, next function is the earthwork calculation. When you need to level the land to a certain elevation or a defined surface, this function can help you to calculate how much earthwork you need to fill or excavate. Start the video. And here we have 3 methods, and I will show you the first method. And you need to input a surface and then enter the elevation you need. And now we have entered an elevation lower than this surface. And this is the earthwork that you need to excavate. And then we will enter an elevation higher than the surface. And this is the earthwork that needs to be filled. Okay, and besides the main function update, here are also some small functions. And the reaccuracy function is to reset the RTK calculation status. It's used when you are in some harsh environments and you think the RTK result is not reliable. You can use this function to reset the RTK calculation. Here in the Topo Survey interface, you can turn on the Surf Mode option in the setting here, and will appear a button. Just click this button to reset the RTK calculation. Okay, next function. Because some users told us that they mistakenly delete their project files, so we added this recycle bin for users to recover the deleted projects. And the last one function is the offset point and indirect point survey, and this is also an upgrade based on users' feedback. Now you can use this to serve methods in Topo Survey interface in real time, and this is the offset point survey. And this is the indirect point survey. You just need to provide the related points and length information by import points or just the survey the points, both okay. And then the software will calculate the coordinates of the target point. Okay, so in addition to the related products, we also provide thoughtful after-sales service. So when you encounter some technical questions while using our products, we will provide you with 24-hour online technical support. You can send us your questions to us via email, Skype, WeChat, or WhatsApp. Our support team will provide you with detailed answers and solutions. And as we all know, the GNSS technology is constantly evolving, but you don't need to worry that the N3 receiver will be out of date in the future, because the firmware of our products is upgradable. We will regularly release new firmware to provide you with the best positioning solution. As for some hardware issue, such as the component damage caused by misoperation, Benefit from the modular design of our products is very easy to repair, and we also have set up local maintenance stations all over the world, so you don't have to worry about the maintenance problems. Okay, let's move on to the last part of today's introduction, the comparison of all our T-series and N-series receivers. Here are stacks receivers. From this timeline, we can see our first GNSS receiver, T300, was released in 2013. And include the N3 GNSS receiver, we have totally released 6 RTK receivers in the past 8 years. And our company, ComNav Technology, has been developing in the high-precision GNSS industry for nearly 10 years. And our R&D team has more than 20 years of experience in this industry, so you can definitely trust our expertise in this high-precision GNSS industry. And before making a comparison, let's watch a video together. Okay. The video shows some of the advantages of our N3 receiver compared with normal receivers, and here I put a comparison table of all our 6 receivers to let you see their differences more clearly. And the main advantages of N3 are highlighted. And firstly, a great improvement of N3 is the signal tracking channels 1198, which enables N3 receiver to track all running satellites, and it also reserved channels for the planned satellites. So the newly launched Beidou Global system and QZSS can also be tracked by N3. And I just mentioned that our products are firmware upgradable. The previous receivers like the T300, T30, and so on are now upgradable for Beidou Global satellite tracking. And besides the GNSS performance, the IMU performance of N3 is also improved as I just introduced. And by the way, the N5 and T30 IMU receivers can also be firmware upgraded to the 2nd generation IMU. And next, one of the most obvious difference from N3 to our previous receivers is the UHF working range. The internal radio working range of N3 is up to 15 kilometers, but I need to remind everyone again that the enhanced UHF of N3 receiver is not compatible with the normal UHF. And in addition, benefit from the K8 platform, the power consumption of N3 is much lower than previous receivers, which also extends the receiver working time to 25 hours. So hope you can find the most suitable GNSS receiver in all our 6 types of receivers. Well, that's all of today's